we have an interesting post-game quote that ties into the weekend that we're going to pull up here.
Ooh.
Friend of the show.
From whom?
From friend of the show, Marcus Thompson. Steve Kerr said James Wiseman is being sent to Santa Cruz tomorrow and will do an extended period to get some reps.
Yeah. So I know, at least from what I've seen on Twitter, I know a lot of Warriors fans have wanted this. I kind of don't get it because
I know where you're going with this, but explain.
The G League is not a play because Warriors fans are like, well, look what happened with Jordan Poole, a guy who was also really talented and struggled early. But Jordan Poole had the ball the entire time and could do whatever he wanted and work through all of his whatever things.
Right.
The G League is not a place for big guys because all of those guys like Jordan Poole who get sent there are looking for
just a bunch of worse Jordan Pooles.
They're looking for their own, which I understand. They're trying to get their career back on track or somewhere.
The G League big Tyler Dorsey energy.
That's exactly. That is precisely right. So I don't know. Wiseman needs reps. He does. He needs to play, and he has been so bad.
Should we loan him to a second division Spanish side?
There you go. Yeah, and that's the other thing is that, and you have pointed this out maybe more than anybody I've seen. That one of, if not his biggest deficiency, is his aversion to contact. And look, there are pros and there are grown men, big guys in the G League, but those guys are not the physical specimens, the physical athletes that you're going to find in the NBA. So, he does. I get it because he does need to play and he does need reps, but people that he can just overwhelm physically without having to actually use contact, and in a league, in a game that does not really feature big guys, doesn't like. I don't know what he really does.
In some ways, I think it's a good thing because my biggest issue with Wiseman is he hates contact. But my second biggest thing is he doesn't want to do big man things in the Warriors system. He wants to be fed the ball in the post.
Because that's the only thing he's comfortable doing at this point.
Sure. He needs to learn how to be comfortable getting the ball off the glass. He needs to learn how to be comfortable setting a screen and crashing hard.
Yeah, but when he's playing against guys that are not like his physical equals, I mean, look, even in the NBA, guys aren't his physical equals.
I get what you're saying. You're like, he's not going to learn that in the G League.
No.
Sure.
But I also understand, like, what else are you going to do? Because he's not going to play for the big club. So what else are you going to do? I get the thinking. I wouldn't have high expectations about it.
Yeah, I think actually, if anything, going down to the G League is probably about building up his mental confidence. Because as whatever you think of him, he's playing below his ability right now.
I agree with that.
I think he's slow defensively. I think he's got a lot of work to do to be a positive player. But he's like, at least as a rookie, he played with a little more aggression than this. And right now, it's just kid lost, not sure what he should do, not trying to step on other people's toes.
He has all-time great tools.
And he does. And he's lost right now. So if they can just get him mentally on track, maybe that helps. But yeah.
You know what it reminds me of when I was in Portland? It reminds me so much of Greg Oden. Greg was better than him, but
Greg had better success than him in the
pros, when Greg played, he was better, but the weight for Greg being the number 1 pick and Wiseman being the number 2 pick, the weight of that was so much for, it seems it was for Greg and it seems for James. Like it was just so much. And then they both got hurt, and like the pressure of being hurt and not being able to contribute, and watching in Greg's case, Kevin Durant, and in James's case, LaMelo and Ant have some success.
Desmond Bane
feels like it really affected them, weighed on them both mentally. I know it did for Greg. It seems from the outside like it does for James. And that can be something that just breaks you. But they are both so physically talented. Greg was better when he played than James has been so far. But the overwhelming physical talent
there's a limited number of people who have that type of athleticism plus touch at that, and then they don't have that size. So no, I get what
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
I
I
just,
don't.
I just, so like, I guess, yeah, go to the G League because it's not working. It's something else to try. I just would not have high expectations about it because it's not the league for that.
We'll leave it there. The Warriors beat the San Antonio Spurs tonight, 1-1 in the
Oh,
back-to-back.
Tim Hardaway's excited because it was actually a 30-point win, so we can all go home happy now.
I appreciate you, brother.
Anytime.